Oh no, they've done it again. They nearly stuffed another engine. Guys, sit tight. There's some really important information I've got to share with you. Firstly, it's now Saturday the 27th of March 2021, and I'd like to let you know I'm on annual leave. I'm going to do you a little favour in case you missed this message. If you can hold off, but if you can't hold off, on Monday I'm going to be around for parts from 8 AM till midday. That's it. And then you won't get any of my parts kits again until the 19th of April. There's a disaster right here in front of us, and I'm going to explain it all again. So this video, it's going to have a heap of awesome information to help everyone with the most updated information, the latest information, sort of basically explaining it all again. We've got a love letter here. We're going to go through that, some information. You know, there's so many places people go to, and we see and hear of problems from these places, and it's just really not acceptable. It is really bad. So once again, any parts purchases from me, I really appreciate the support, but I do need to take a break. And some people are asking, oh, so you're closing down, this sort of thing. We're closing down for a month. That is correct. Or why don't you have people, well, if you want it done right the first time, you got to do it yourself. Okay, so if you want the quality level of service, this is how we're going to do it. If you want us to put people on and then you sort of get the wrong things and stuff like that, and you're okay with that, then we can do that. But tell me in the comments what you want. Do you want to keep it small, reliable, or do you want to go big and start getting unreliable and lower levels of service like what you get with other companies? I suppose we should start by having a quick read of this love letter and talk about these injectors a little bit, because this is really important information. And this could be, I'll tell you, no, it's not could be, this is so many vehicles out there, not just from this place, not just from whatever Toyota dealer, whatever workshop, whatever diesel shop you went to, or even the previous owner that worked on the vehicle that didn't do the right thing. This could be anyone's vehicle about to fail. If you haven't seen that series we did on the 2007 120 Prado, have a look in our playlist. I think it's called 2007 120 Prado. You know, what a waste of an engine. I can't remember. You'll figure it out anyway. Go through all the playlists. It's all good info. Now, so here, it's a 2008 Prado, right? 170,931 Ks. Hi, Anthony. Many thanks for the awesome service and all, with the underline, all of the videos. They are invaluable source of information. History. Injectors were installed at 114 kilometers by high-tech diesel injection on September 15. There you go, right? So this is the letter, we call them love letters. We love a bit of a love letter. Obviously I've crossed out his name for privacy or whatever. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't even matter that we're not really just picking on high-tech diesel. We're picking on workshops in general, the ones that don't do the job right. We're sick of seeing this sort of stuff. Okay, I'll read on a little bit for you. You may be able to see it, but I'll read it. Injectors were installed at 140k by high-tech diesel September 15. At 156,000 kilometers, the oil pickup was clear as he checked it. So he's doing his own servicing, checking the oil pickup. That's why we're here, to help people understand what needs to be done. You can go into Toyota dealers, you can go into other small workshops and say, hey, do you check the oil pickup? And they'll look at you blank and they don't know what you're talking about, which is demonstrating an absolute need for their training. And you need to train them by telling them to watch my videos maybe, or you need to tell them what needs to be done, because it's just ridiculous. They don't understand. This could be one of the most important videos you can watch. And I just want to say a quick thank you to all the people returning the crow's foot that was a Len, the red caps and the dowels. Thank you. Now, let's continue reading. Okay, so 162k service performed by high-tech diesel. Okay, so let's just take a step back to recap. At 156k, so 114 the injectors were changed by high-tech. At 156k, the oil pickup was clear. He checked it, right? So that's great. That's awesome. At 162k, service performed by high-tech diesel, March 20, and no mention of oil pickup being blocked. Let me ask you this question though. Did you ask them, do they even check that? Okay, because it'd be good if they say, yeah, no, we do that, we understand that. Because when I say, I've spoken to, personally, my evidence is, I have spoken to Toyota dealers, I've spoken to other small service, doesn't matter which ones, but I haven't found any workshop other than people in our loop of information that know what I'm talking about when I say, you know, have you checked the oil pickup? Do you check the oil pickup? They look at you blank. They just don't get it. Try it out sometime. Go talk to some people. So at 171k, right, I found the oil pickup blocked. This is him speaking, I'm reading. At 171k, right? So it appears the oil pickup has become blocked very quickly. I'll tell you right now, yes, that can happen. It can happen very quickly. And this is another reason why I recommend 5,000 kilometre oil changes on any vehicle, particularly these, right? Now, if you've done your injectors and you're doing highway Ks and you got your EJAR solution there, your oil's staying clean and you want to leave it for longer or 10,000, fine. Up until about 100, 120,000 if all the genuine correct parts were used. And this is why we do this thing, and it started with the parts kits to make sure you get the right injectors, not Chinese copies, not old stock, not other brands, none of that, not remanufactured, whatever, just brand new genuine. That's all we're ever going to supply you. That's our promise, brand new genuine. If we can no longer get brand new genuine and we have to supply you remanufactured or something, we'll tackle that when it comes, and we're going to tell you how it is and the best solutions. So, found the oil pickup blocked. It appears it became blocked very quickly. Correct. That can happen. Only 8,528 Ks. See the sort of people we're dealing with here? They're people that stay watching. They want to get themselves educated and understand. Now, you need to listen really carefully to every single word I say and not worry about it waffle. If you think it's waffle, you can go right now. See you later, because we're not bothered if you don't want to get yourself educated and understand. For the people that want to get educated and understand, hang around, listen carefully, and watch it again. And I'm going to waffle on. So if you don't like it, see you later. Okay, it appears that oil pickup became blocked very quickly. So 8,500 Ks. Since the last, it says from last service. Brass seats in 1, 2, and 4. Now let me see. 1, 2. Maybe they got mixed up. Hang on. What's going on here? Anyway, we're going to confirm that in a minute. How many? Let me just have a look. Brass seats in 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. No, that's correct. No, that's right. I just can't count. With coated copper in 1 to 8. We're going to talk about what's going on there. What I believe. Possibly. There's a few possibilities here. We're going to get to that. Let's finish reading. Let's get all these facts out here first. Number 1 had eroded through the seat. I can see that. We're going to have a closer look at that shortly. Yeah, that's what happens. This is all old news, guys. This is all 2015 news. 6 years ago, if you've been following me. I know it's hard. I know, we've been doing this on different platforms for years, but now hopefully YouTube's here to stay. The channel's growing. Appreciate your support, but it needs to be shared more to help more people far and wide. We really need to make sure people are getting this information. Scan gauge indicated low to value of 10, which sort of says the injector's in reasonable condition. It does not really tell us anything. I would be keen to know the manufacture date of these injectors if possible. Thanks again. PS, job completed and running well. I hope I caught it in time before doing major damage. I'm confident that from only having one, although it looks pretty bad. So, okay, let's just go through and answer a few questions here for the client. So he would like to know the manufacture date. We've just checked that on all of these. March 15, March 15, 3rd 15, and 1st 15. So 3 injectors were manufactured in March 2015 and one of them in January 15. Some people are asking, how do we know that? We use the serial numbers on the injectors. There's a code and we decode the manufacture date. So we're very busy, so I'm not really inviting everybody to pull their injectors out and tell me the dates of them, whatever. But if you do purchase our injector kit and you return your injectors for your free contamination check, which is wise to do so, because we've asked you to return the caps, the crowsfoot, the dowel, and then what we do, we strip the injectors down. You don't have to return the injectors. If you want to keep them because they're handy for tent pegs or something, you can do that. Whatever the case may be, but we strip them down. Here's an example. The number 1, I just sort of, there's the command piston, all clear of contamination. Okay, so what that's, look, water does get through fuel filters. Okay, and we've seen corrosion on these command pistons on vehicles that have got, technically it's been through 4 filters because there's one at the servo pump. Remember, fussy people, Prados have got 2 filters standard, plus one guy had an extra. There's plenty of people. I'm just using one example now. So it's been through a quality servo with a filter at the pump, 30 micron. He's got his 10 micron, 5 micron, whatever it is on the car that he's added, plus the one at the transfer pump. Most of the fuel goes through that, plus the original factory one, and way regular servicing. And then we get his injectors and we see corrosion. So water gets through filters, guys, even if you've got extras. Understand that. So if you've got water in your tank, the best way to know about it is Send me your old injectors. Very rare do we find it. We're going to strip it down. No news is good news. I've said this before. All the regulars are going, get on with the rest of this because we already know this. If there's contamination, you're going to get a text message. You may even get a phone call. You're not getting anything at the moment because, quick reminder, we've got some information sitting on the side here. You can have a read of it. And I'm going to remind you about that throughout this video. I only work school hours, so please don't text me, call me or anything outside school hours. Please avoid it unless it's emergency. Melbourne time. Remember, I'm Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Okay, school days. So if it's school holidays, you know, unless you're invited to. How do you know when you're invited to call or text or whatever the case may be? The reason I'm giving you this information is to help. Can you please help me help you, okay? 4x4 diesel. We don't use Messenger. Friend me on Facebook. If you're awesome, press friend on Facebook so you can stay in tune with information. No problem. As long as it's a decent looking profile, I'll press yep, no problem. Here's our 2 pages. I've said it before. The Prado Hospital. That's when the Prado Hospital is open for service and repairs information. That's where you look if you want to see, you know, we're closed for a month or we're open for a week or closed or we're doing this week or we've got a quiet week. Yeah, good luck with that. You know, you might be able to get in at the last minute. The Prado Hilux 1KDFD injectors, that's information to do with our parts kits and what days you can. So we're currently, the Prado Hospital is closed, completely closed, okay, until about the 10th of May. We're taking a good break because of the amount of work I do. I need a good rest, okay. I'm doing you a favour though, in case you missed it. I've been putting messages out on our Facebook pages, on my profile, in our YouTube videos if you're subscribed and watching, so the right people have got the information, so they're not going to miss out, and they've got in March and got their parts kits. We've sold more than double the parts kits we would in any other month, okay? Because I'm hoping that means April's are in March as well. So thank you very much for the support and listening, those people. I'm going to do you a favour, and on the 29th, that's in 2 days. Today's Saturday, I said that already. I'm going to be available from 8 a.m. to midday to receive your text messages, do some communication with you, provide you the information. I suggest you go right now and search how to buy my kits in our playlist and watch those videos so that you're well equipped. Provide the right information in a text message, your name, vehicle details, and I'll try and help you out Monday. Now, if we get absolutely smashed, I'm not going to get them all done, so I apologise in advance. If you can hold off until the 19th of April, that's the next date. I'm doing you a favour in the middle of our leave that's from now until the 10th of May. In the middle there, the 19th of April, I'm going to be there all day to take your inquiries. I suggest you get in the morning, and we're going to be there also the 20th, you know, packing the rest of those kits and whatever to get those out. Then we're still on break, we're still on leave. Doesn't mean we're not around. We could be in and out, could be at the movies, could be anywhere. I don't want to get text messages unless you're urgent. Please try and hold off until the 10th of May. If we're back on deck because we've had enough of a rest before the 10th of May, I will do posts on our Facebook pages over here or on my profile, or on, if you're in Australia, I can only supply Australia with parts. Oz Prado crew, Oz Hilux crew, I'll do posts saying, hey, back on deck. If you need something, hit me up on this day at this time. I invite you at certain times because I need to do so many jobs here, all right? I need to be efficient, okay? And that's why I'm doing this video now. So this is really important information, but I'm blending this in because I need you to listen. Thank you for listening, the people who are still with us, and to the people that left because I'm waffling too much. Now, let's have a look at these injectors. So we've established that they were manufactured in 2015, so they're probably actually not too bad themselves condition-wise because they're only about 5 or 6 years old, but you know, I'd rather replace them as prevention than as cure, and this is a bit of a cure, and we've got a bit of a problem here. If people missed it, back in, I'll just say it how it is, back in 2000 and, what was it, 15 or 16, somewhere there, we started having some issues with some vehicles, okay? We're replacing some injectors. Some of them, Bailey's was an option back then. We did have an option. I never told anybody to use this or use that back then. Now it's, hey, now it's use genuine only. Only use brand new genuine. Only buy injectors off me. Otherwise you could get, anyway, so people know that. If you don't, well, hopefully you just learnt it. Be patient while I'm away. Try and get in those days. Other than that, it's Mondays, school hours, text from 8 on Mondays. Generally, we only work school hours. We discovered on whatever date it was, I've forgotten now. I think it was May 2016, the 24th or something. I got it all documented anyway. We discovered brass washers under injectors that happened to be under the Bailey's injectors. They were being supplied with brass washers. They seem to think that's all okay. Anyway, that's another argument, and it might get had some other time. It doesn't matter, right? Brass is intrinsically harder than copper. The stuff's rock hard. We've done our own testing. You don't even need to. It's obvious. Think about it. You know copper, it's soft and pliable. It bends, it squashes. If you hit it with a hammer, it's going to leave a mark. If you put it in a vise and tighten it up, you're going to see a mark there. Brass, that doesn't, I'll say it doesn't really happen. You can smash it around and not much happens, you know. It's a lot harder. Intrinsically, naturally, obviously a lot harder. So it's not really a gasket. So on one side of your mind, it's a lot harder, so it's not going to erode away and deteriorate like copper. So it sounds like a good idea, but the problem is it doesn't squash and crush and take shape like a gasket needs to take up those surface imperfections so that they don't leak. And that's what you're seeing here. Okay, so here we've got brass, here we've got brass, here we've got copper, here we've got brass. I haven't worked out why that's happened yet. I've just opened them up and I've started the video and I'm thinking while I'm speaking to you, so I'll probably do something dumb and miss something, right? Because I haven't stopped and thought about it a bit longer. But, so I'll just bring this one up. So number 4, right? We have to do this thing here and try and get it to focus up a bit closer, right? You can see the yellow color, right? Right, now what happens when they're new, they've got this sort of like silver coating over the top, we'll just call it. That sort of goes black with the brass ones. Now this is a genuine copper. The reason this one's copper, I believe, look, I don't think these are Bailey's injectors because of the manufacture dates being consistent. What Bailey's do, they use old injector bodies and do some work on them, and yeah, so effectively you're getting old injectors. And as I said with the old ones, the bodies are a little bit smaller, new ones fit tighter and all that. Even these are older. Later than this is where changes happen. You only want the freshest stock. That's why you come to me, okay? So we've established brass. We know that's rock hard, and the copper, it's got a coating over it. Looks like alloy, okay? It's not. I'm not going to remember or know the name. This seat is not that old. It's not even eroding away in the center there. I don't know if you can see that. We'll try and get up here and get it to focus in a bit closer. Right, in very good condition to what they normally are. Show you this brass one. Right, see that? Look, and you can actually see my hands do get dirty and that, and I do work on vehicles, because I know you're looking in videos going, mate, this guy is the doctor, mate. He doesn't even work on cars, whatever. Well, he does sometimes, you know. Let's just say he does sometimes, right? Anyway, see, dry fingers from cleaning and washing all that gross stuff. Anyway, see, brass, right? You get the picture? Brass, rock hard. So, what's happened here is, this is called quality. And if it's clean, and you can generally tell if they clean the ports properly originally, because you'll see specks of black stuff on the bottom of the seat here, which you can't see on that one. Now, we've got a few over here. I should have prepared one, but you know, we've got that many sitting here. I can just pick one off the top, just like that, and go, this is what they shouldn't look right. And this is what people do, right? See all the black stuff there? They don't clean. They don't clean. They just throw it in. This will not stick and seal like it needs to. We've got a lot worse ones there. We're not going to waste time on that. If you want to see all that sort of information, it's in other videos. We've been doing this for years. So go back to our YouTube channel, Injector Information Playlist, that sort of thing. So what happens is when you clamp the injector down, the idea of this is meant to crush and, you know, more one side than the other to make a gasket and be a seal. So this one's got genuine. It's not going to leak, okay? We know enough about these to know if this is clean and it's talked to, you know, they're going to last bloody ages, right? I guarantee my work for a minimum 120,000 Ks that they're not going to leak, okay? If you can use a genuine washer in my workshop with my torque wrench and that leaks in less than 120,000 Ks, I'm going to take it out, clean it up, reset and everything, no charge, okay? That's what a guarantee is. Okay, and I'm going to put lifetime warranty on my workmanship. So if I make a mistake and we can reasonably see that okay, I've made a mistake and it's had an effect on the vehicle even 3, 4, 5 years later, if that's my mistakes caused that problem, then it's probably fair that I pay for it because I've caused the damage, right? So that's how I roll. We're going to call it lifetime workmanship. We can't give lifetime warranty on the parts. We don't make the parts, supply the parts. They'll last as long as they last. Standard new car parts warranty, 12 months, 20,000, but we'll help you out a little bit more than that, and that's all I can say at this stage. They've never had a problem using the right parts. That's why we do what we do. So this one, it hasn't leaked. Let's have a closer look at it. All right, let's have a closer look. You've had a look, now let me have a look. Okay, so that one looks pretty good. And the reason it's not leaking is quite simple. The surface imperfection difference between the injector nozzle cap nut, this is what we call the cap nut, so let's just say that's kind of nice and flat and the head's nice and flat. It just worked out luck-wise, that's really good, and it did the job, and it could possibly stay like that forever, we don't know. These will eventually erode away in the middle, generally a couple 100,000 Ks, right? We've got a bit of experience with this. Just let me show you quickly, right? So there's some brass washer jobs right there. They're all different vehicles, right? In the rows there, left to right, we've got them all across the wall. You can see what happens. You can see the brass washer there. It leaks, right? And then, you know, the blow by and it starts welding. You can see over here, brass, brass, brass. You can see where it blow through on that one. You know, that was about 10, they're all about 10,000 Ks, right? So let's get back down here again where we were, focus back on the issue at hand, what we're looking at. So we've got a bit of, that's all old stuff, all old photos on display to show people and explain the situation, what I'm doing now. Okay, so you don't have to come and see me to understand this, and I'd rather explain it to thousands of people like this than over and over again. So I'm not talking about here in the workshop anymore, we're doing it right here. This one, another lucky one, right? He's just lucky. It's just lucky, right? You know, it's all the surfaces have made it up and happy days. Could have stayed like that forever, right? So they're luck, they're quality. This one's quality, this one, and this one luck. This one's unlucky. Okay, let's have a closer look at that, right? And this is what happens, and you can see, if you remember the picture up over there on the wall just a second ago, you can rewind or watch it again later, because these words are, like it says here somewhere, invaluable. And this is not the only one. I get this every day, guys. I appreciate all the feedback in the text messages, right? Thank you, you know. It's just what it is. I'm doing the best I can. I think it's pretty good. Yep, and it's no problem. Like, you know, it's just someone's got to do it. Okay, so if you remember back up there on the wall, you'll see one of them eroded away really badly. Some of them you can see really well, and that's what's happened with this one, right? Because I'll explain to you, this is what happens, right? So this side's good. This side, not bad. This side, terrible. You can see where it's blowing out there. I'll try and get you right in the picture there, right? See that? Right. You can see where the light's on the flat seat. So why did that happen? Well, remember, it was meant to be a gasket, okay? It was meant to be a gasket. What's a gasket meant to do, right? Crush a little bit, take up those imperfections so that it seals. Well, what happens when you've got, you know, say the cap nut that's, you know, or the head or whichever part it is, it doesn't matter. We have to take engineering measurements to work it out. It doesn't really matter what part out. It's probably this part, not the head. It's probably the injector cap nut, whatever the case may be. When it's not quite right, so let's just say, you know, there's more pressure on one side than the other, back up here again, right? So there's more pressure, you know, over here on this side of the washer and not so much there. And then heating and cooling, and things move a little bit, and there's a bit of a gap. Anyway, it just slowly starts leaking out there. The compression starts blowing. What happens when it just constantly keeps blowing? It's like any leak, like a water leak. Did you ever notice, you know, when you're driving, you see a tiny little bit of water coming out of the road surface, and then a little bit more, and a little, next thing you know, the road's closed, burst water main, whatever, right? That's what happens, right? Leaks don't get better. If you've got a pressure situation, you've got a leak, it's going to always get worse. It's not going to get better on its own. Simple as that. Unless you put some dodgy additive in there, like, you know, your radiator leak, and you put your bars leak or your seal up or whatever, it might work because something gets in there and blocks the hole, right? So what happens here, it all just blows out really badly, and it gets bad, and that's what happens. It even erodes the brass away, which we already know how much stronger that is. You can see that's what's happened there. I'm not going to bring it up again. We're done. And now we're just going to quickly explain for the people that missed the other videos, and this is their first video. And on that note, if this is your first video, don't think that, oh, this Anthony guy, he's awesome and I've got to just ring him and get into the Prado hospital now. You need to watch more videos. You need to check our Facebook pages to see if we're open, closed, available, what time. You need to listen to what I'm saying in the videos, to send a text message with your full name. Like I said, not just Steve. It needs to be Steve Blogs, whatever. You know, Jim Beam I prefer to say, or Jack Daniels or whoever, right? So full name, because we've got lots of people. Vehicle details and what it is. I'm just inquiring when I can get into the Prado hospital for an inspection. Okay, don't bother sending that text message till at least the 10th of May. Okay, stay in tune so then you understand that, because what will happen is the phone doesn't ring. There's no point ringing, so don't ring me. Just don't ring. Okay, if you text me You're not getting a voicemail, getting a reply. If I'm on leave, you probably won't get a reply. If I'm I might be away on a trip one time and there's no phone service, and so back to you to stay in touch with when we're around so that you get a reply at the right time, everything happens right. So right now, we're closed, okay? Closed, can't help you with any Prado inspection, service, repairs or anything. And it's coming up to Easter and the school holidays, and even our 4x4 diesel recommended repairers, they're all very busy, and they also have families and they want to take time off at Easter and school holidays, so you really need to plan around these things. So we won't even be answering texts saying, yep, this is the guy to go to here or there. The ways to find out these things is, if you had become a client and you missed it, you should join our VIP group. It's only for clients. Don't bother trying to join, because if you're not there and it's not you, you're not going to get in. You're just wasting your time. You just embarrass yourself. Have a look at this guy. He's that desperate to join the VIP, but he's not a VIP. So please don't bother trying to join it unless you are a client. Okay, now we've got 2 YouTube channels. You're watching one now, automotive channel, 44 diesel. We've also got a touring channel. It's also got a lot of other really awesome information. And at the end of this video later on, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a long one because I'm giving you the information. I'm going to do some Q&A on the YouTube channel, questions, and quickly zip through and try and do it quickly, not as much waffling as this. So Monday is parts day, 8 AM Melbourne time to midday, please. That gives us the afternoon to get them packed. There's no point texting me at 4. Not going to happen. I can't get you the information, get the payment, get it packed and get it to the post office, because guess what? School hours, remember, so the post office run is about 3 PM. So if you're later than all that, and 2:50 doesn't work, because if everybody does that, right, it's not like this, right? It's not like this, right? Ding. It's start it coming through 7 AM if you like, right? I'm not going to see it until whenever I'm ready, but whatever time, 7 AM Monday. There's no point doing it on the weekend or Friday. I think you're going to get in first, because that just gets buried, and I just go back to Monday morning and I start there. So first thing Monday morning is the go. Okay, so we're a bit stuffed here. What was going to happen is, you can see what's happened already. The blow-by, this is where the washer is, right, leaking, right? We'll put it back there for the people just to paint a picture, right? So the compression, this is your cylinder of your engine, right? And the heat of compression, really hot exhaust gases, because it's a diesel, blowing up past here, and it comes up the side of the injector through there's only a couple of millimeters there, and here there's an O-ring, and there's a reason there's an O-ring there. This area here is oil, right? And obviously it's like everything else, it's got an operating temperature, so the oil warms up the injector and then cools the injector, just like all the other systems. Temperature needs to be at operating temperature, transmissions, engines, cooling, so everything. See the O-ring? It's just blown the O-ring out. This is a really good example. If I can get the focus. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Okay, see the O-ring there? The compression's blowing straight up here, right? It's blown out the O-ring, and it's actually still soft because it's not that old, but it's blown it to pieces, right? And then all those bits of carbon and everything, which most of it's been cleaned off, because he sent them back to me respectfully. Bit of a wipe clean, thank you very much, because I can see enough mess there. I don't need big dirt. Please give the injectors a bit of a wipe, chuck them in a bag, because I'm going to get them back here. Please include the seats so then we can check those out for you as well, in case any other information. And anything, if it's anything that matters, I'm going to send you the information in a text message, but no news is good news. All this stuff floats around in the oil gallery system, and yeah, that's what blocks the oil pickup and wrecks the engine. So if you haven't already, go and watch that other video and all those other videos. This is a video where I'm repeating myself a lot again, and I'm going to repeat myself a lot because some people don't get it, and I'm going to say this again as well. Don't just watch your first video or some videos start popping up on your YouTube, and then you go, I've got to get a hold of this Anthony guy, and then start texting me 10 o'clock Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I'm just basically, if you're not a client, I'm generally going to ignore those messages. I hope you understand. I'd love to reply to everyone and say, oh, sorry, mate. If I'm going to sit there all weekend doing replies telling people they don't work, and then they don't get it and they keep asking questions anyway. So those people, I'm sorry, I'm explaining here what you need to do for me to help you. Please respect that, and we'll be okay. Okay. What else have we got left on this little reminder list here? Okay, a few little notes I made. You can read it in case I miss it. Told you parts, 29th of March, question mark, maybe, if you have to. Depends if we get smashed or not. If you can wait till the 19th of April, that'll be really reliable because I've got the 19th and the 20th dedicated for take the orders in the morning of the 19th. I'd imagine it could be really busy because people are waiting like 2 to 3 weeks from now till then, right? It's about 3 weeks, isn't it? So a few people that are desperate, we can do the 29th of March, then we'll get smashed on the 19th and 20th, we'll sort that out. That's in the middle of our break. I'm making an effort to come back from my annual leave to get that done for you, okay? And, you know, if you're sort of like not too fussed and you can wait till the 10th, say, mate, 19th, text me. Say if you can fit it in. If you can't, I'm happy to wait till the 10th. That'd be appreciated, thank you. 10th of May and then every other Monday after there for about 3 weeks. And funnily enough, we're going to be then taking some more leave. So this is your warning in advance. Forget about June. June's a write-off, okay? So June, you know, we're making up for last year, guys. We got locked down. I've said that in other videos. Do appreciate your support, though, so I don't think I'm sort of saying bugger off. I really appreciate everyone's support, and I think everybody appreciates being able to get like the messages I get, the best. You know, it's not me telling you I'm the best. I'm just repeating what everybody tells me, you know. Like, best customer service, best company I've dealt with, best customer. You know, it's just what they tell me, okay? And it sounds like it makes sense to me. Whatever things I've done in life, you do it properly and you get good feedback, right? Simple. Yeah, I wish I had more of me too. I wish we had one in every state and all this sort of thing, but we have got some people in other states, which is really good. But, you know, please don't contact me until I'm back on deck from a break. Cheers. There you go. So I think we've pretty well covered that. We'll put that over there. That ticks that off. Now, we answered all the questions here before we go into some other information. Just back to the start. Injectors installed by High-Tech Diesel. So we're not saying don't go there. I can tell you that I've seen some ads on eBay and they've got pictures of remanufactured injectors, so that would put me off. But I don't know what they do. That's their business, and it's up to you if you want to go there. I suppose the other part is how they ended up with brass washers. I don't know that because I believe that these are genuine injectors. They are manufactured in 15. Why they've got brass washers and why one was copper, I don't know. Now, what I'd suspect is, now, how long's he owned the vehicle for? We got that here too, many. So he's got a history there. So what I don't know here is how long he's owned the vehicle, and perhaps if he sees this video, he may expose himself and put a reply and let us know that. But mate, if you don't want to expose yourself, that's fine, no problem. But if you don't mind, perhaps, look, they're not Bailey's injectors, so it doesn't make sense. Maybe this place has got these, right, forget about the word Bailey's. Just leave that out of the whole video for a minute. Just because we discovered them on Bailey's and found a whole stack of them on Bailey's injectors and had heaps of injectors with leaking seats, about 1 in every 4 injectors would have at least one leaking seat. Doesn't mean you can't get them elsewhere. Now, Bailey's obviously don't make these, so that part of it maybe you could say has nothing to do with them. You can buy these elsewhere on the aftermarket. That's where you want to be careful, because when they're new, they've got a shiny finish, like some of the genuine ones. So it's a real mix-up, this industry. You've got to be careful where you purchase your stuff or who you go to. So perhaps they thought these washers were better than because the genuine injectors come with genuine washers and they look just like that. So perhaps they put those 4 in. Perhaps they had an issue with it running rough at some stage. And I mean, I'm looking at that going, there's a bit of black staining there, but it's certainly not bad. The O-ring's still the O-ring. Yeah, maybe they just got a mix. I really can't understand. But sometimes what happens is, you know, you see these and then you see some staining and, you know, that one's been pulled out or they've all been pulled out and they put the washers back in sometimes. All sorts of things happen. I really don't know why, but that is correct. Brass, copper, brass, and yeah, brass is a problem. Okay, quick note, to check your oil pickup, you don't need to pull your sump off. To check your oil pickup, you drain the oil, you go and have a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner or whatever you do, and then you come back out and you should be able to move your drone out of the way, shine your torch through the hole and have a look at the oil pickup. Check out other videos. Just search oil pickup or checking oil pickup, things like that on our channel. We'll show you how to do it. Then on a Prado, if it's blocked, you will be able to fairly easily remove the sump sub-assembly and clean that. On a Hilux, it's much harder, so you may opt for cleaning it through the hole like a lot of people do. But this is the cause of the problem. There is a engine rebuilder in Australia who does videos on YouTube that says the oil pickup's cheap, just replace it every, I can't remember, don't quote me, every 50,000 or every 100,000, it's only $50 or $100. Like, hello, changing the oil pickup isn't the problem, it's caused by this. Understand this and understand that you don't, it's a waste of money to change your oil pickup. So I don't know why he would tell people that. But anyway, Like I say, don't worry about other people's information. Just listen to me. I'm giving you the right, accurate information. Thanks again for returning those caps and crow's foot, because they'll go to somebody else so they don't miss out. Okay, we're going to go through a few of the comments on the YouTube channel. Here's first one that's come up here. I have learned so much from you. I basically service my own Hilux 2010 on my own. Feel like I have become a diesel mechanic. Keep up the awesome YouTube videos. Bloody great. So he loves it. That's awesome. I gave him the thumbs up. Just don't get too cocky. Keep watching. The good news is you are probably better than a lot of other people out there working on motor vehicles, and that's probably about it really. But be careful. Keep watching the videos so you get all the latest up-to-date information. And another really important message, really to do with all this sort of stuff, someone's just written, hope you are well, Anthony. Been watching your videos for a while, and as of today I have to say you saved my engine. Had injectors done at 200k at a Toyota dealer, and after me explicitly asking them to take oil sump off as part of the job, there was a nice surprise waiting for me. Even Toyota dealer in Ireland had no clue where engine problems occur on 1KD engines, so wanted to say a massive thank you, mate. Thanks for educating me and Irish Toyota dealers here. Keep up the amazing work. So he obviously gets a thumbs up. So guys, it's not me telling you here. Please understand, it's good information. People love it. Share it around. We need to save as many vehicles and many engines as we can. It's not just these. We specialize in one of the best. There's a lot worse ones out there, okay? And I know some people think different to that, and in their comments, oh, Toyotas are crap. Somebody said, do you have any videos on petrol filters? Not really. Petrol's a lot more dangerous. We're not mucking around with petrol filters, cutting them open. There's not much to say about it. Just change the petrol filter as per the manufacturer recommendation. Somebody says, well done inspection on Luke's Hilux. That was one of the inspections we did. And he said, have you got a suggestion where to locate the aftermarket fuel water separator as to not restrict the oil filter access? Yeah, there's not much room under the bonnet. That's right, exactly. So to be quite honest, there's not a lot of room anywhere that's decent, and I would just rather change the factory filter every 10 or 20,000 Ks, because I've seen and explained in videos, it's just a waste of time and money to have that extra filter there. I know some people are going to disagree with that, but each to their own, and I've explained for the reasons why in all our videos already. A few comments on I did a video called It's Probably a Waste of Money to Replace These, and it was talking about a couple of different components, but those rubber flaps between the engine and that, as someone said, it is probably mainly aesthetics, because we've done a lot of testing looking at these. We do a lot of off-roading and even turn full lock. It doesn't throw any mud or anything onto them, so it's not stopping anything from going in or out. So as I said, I'd stick to what I said. I don't think I'll replace mine once they deteriorate. I prefer the access, even though it may not look as good aesthetically. Somebody wouldn't mind a video on how to replace a radiator in a 120 Prado. Would be good. And he says, this is the best 120 Prado channel I've watched. Thank you very much. That video will be coming one day. Okay, another question. Where are you located? I have learned so much from your YouTube videos. Bloody awesome. And it's got a few likes and a couple of comments. One of the comments is, yes, please tell us how we can book for an inspection. And then the guru resides in Victoria. We need an Anthony in every state. Well, we've got some Anthonys around the place. Their names aren't Anthony. And it doesn't matter where I am, because our service book's full and it is difficult to get an inspection. You do need to keep texting me on those Monday mornings and any other day and time you're invited to once you do that. But not at the moment. We're closed. We're closed. We're closed. Somebody says, how do I get rid of the warning light once the filter's changed? Basically unplug it, leave it unplugged for an amount of time. To be quite honest, I can't exactly remember because I rarely see them with lights on, but it's something like unplug it, start the car or turn the car on and then plug it in. You've got to wait something like maybe longer than 10 or 20 seconds, but pretty easy to figure out. Basically unplug it and plug it in again. If it's unplugged long enough, I think that sorts it out. Somebody said, like the vids, mate, one thing I'll say about the inspection of the gearbox transition fluid is there's something that might well be in there and is thus a very good reason to open at least the filler plugs to have a quick look. That is water contamination. Not too uncommon from my experience, either if the owner has been off-road. Okay, so you may be working on lots of different vehicles. We mainly service Prados and all the Prados and Hiluxes, and it's very rare. I think there's one vehicle I can still remember that had water in there. It was floating on top of the water, and you find that when you drain the diff oil every 40,000 Ks anyway. But there's been one out of all the vehicles for the last decade, so very rare, and in my opinion, not worth opening the plug to check if there's water there, because we don't see water in there usually. But thanks for the feedback. No, it isn't possible to change the transition filter without dropping the pan. No. No, so it's not. He's asking because the Toyota servicing lady stated they changed the filter without removing the pan. So no, that is wrong. Someone asked, how much is an injector kit for a 2007 Hilux? Okay, so we've got a video called something like the latest information buying injector kit, like whatever. It was released earlier this year, I don't know, January, February, something along those lines. Have a look in playlists, how to buy our kits. The latest information's there. It's going to give you a guide. Depends exactly what you want in the kit. Anything from just over about $2.5 grand through to over $3 grand with a suction control valve and the lot. So most common price on an 07 Hilux injector kit is about $27.50. Somebody asked, does anyone else's roller tighten roof tray rattle? Maybe you've left some screws loose. It's rock solid. There's nothing to rattle. It's something else. Okay, a bit of a long question. Hey Anthony, great video. I have a 120 with 358k on the clock. I doubt very much the bearings have ever been replaced, as I got it at 180k and haven't replaced them since I've had it. Notice the car has a vibration through steering wheel at speed. That couldn't be the wheels out of balance. That couldn't be the wheels out of balance, as I've just gotten wheels and tyres balance. No, the bearings aren't going to make a vibration. It is going to be your wheel balance. Comes back to the people can't do things right, or depending on the quality of your wheels and tyres, if it can be done right. A question here, what brand of OBD scanner did you use, Prado 120? Well, you know, we use the Toyota Intelligent Tester tool, but you don't want one of those because you can get scan tools that do all cars cheaper, like a Snap-on, the small unit that does everything for about $3-4 grand, you know, but you don't need one of these either. TechStream's $40 and you can do your Toyota. eBay, $40, get a lead. We've said it before in other videos, so please keep watching. We're about done here on this video. That's certainly long enough to keep all the people that want a long video and information entertained and informed. If you got any questions about this job, these injectors, yes, it was another one saved. Hopefully there's dozens and hundreds and thousands we're saving where we're not getting the feedback, and that's even better. More of a statement on this one. Some other manufacturers have much bigger problems than Toyota. Yeah, I know. The Mitsubishi Triton comes to mind, I know. And they do benefit from quality catch cans like the Provent. Sure, the oil problem is exacerbated by the EGR, and it's the heat that makes the oil sludgy. It's the what? Heat that makes the oil sludgy mess in the intake, but given it's illegal to have. So he doesn't sort of just, you just don't quite get it, you know? It's not the catch can, it's the EGR, and it's not the heat that makes it sludgy, it's the soot and the oil mixing together. Just get the soot out and the oil's not a problem. Anyway, comments, lots of people have used the RTV and it's been a year and it still doesn't leak. Look, we know the stuff sticks like whatever's clean to like a you-know-what to a you-know-what. Certainly works as long as the area is clean. It was just maybe it was a bad demonstration, that video, but yeah, certainly does work. Using RTV to seal things up to prevent and stop oil leaks. Okay, somebody's asking, is the exhaust test okay with 7mm, or is there a problem? I don't know what you mean by that either, but look, everybody uses a 7mm plate, and once you got that, I don't think there's a problem. Not sure about the legalities, we've discussed that in other videos. That's for you to figure out. Somebody's asking questions. The information has been pre-provided in other videos. The question is, thanks for this, it was an informative video. How often do we replace the ATF? What about the front and rear differentials? Well, front and rear differential is generally every 40,000 k's, and the ATF depends if you choose to drive the vehicle right or not. If you drive it right, you can do it every 100,000 k's or even leave it longer. If you choose to select the wrong gears and let it slip and get hot, you can do it every 40,000 with the diffs. Alright guys, that's it for now. I've gone through as many questions as I can. I'm still looking at them as I speak. Obviously we're out of time. It takes a lot of time to read and reply to all these. That's why you're not going to see replies on there as much anymore, and there's going to be more and more comments, and we welcome those to have the feedback, and other people can of course reply to you. And bada bing, bada boom, I'm out of here. Please remember to give us the thumbs up, and I hope you got your answers to your questions in this video, and if you didn't, I hope you learned something or understand the situation with this. And yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe, turn the bell on, and go check out all our other videos. There's a lot better videos than this. Thanks for watching guys. See ya.